So I just wanted to talk through the illustrative questions that we would ask about a company to help diagnose whether a company is likely to be customer centric or not. So again, there's no way we can really prove it, but there are questions that we can ask that help us understand whether it's likely or not that a particular company is customer centric. So what are those questions? The first question is, does it have systems to track individual customer behavior? Because true customer centricity requires robust systems for monitoring and analyzing individual customer behavior over time. So this isn't just about collecting transactional data, but integrating information across multiple touch points. And again, the big question then is, does the company maintain comprehensive records that allow it to understand individual customer profitability and customer preferences? So that's really the key there. The second question is, does the company offer differentiated service tiers that are aligned with value? Customer-centric organizations deliberately create differentiated service levels aligned with customer value. So this doesn't mean neglecting low-value customers, but instead it's about optimizing resource allocation based on customer potential. So you want to look for clearly articulated service tiers with meaningful differences in the privileges, the perks, the support that is given to particular customers. Third one, is the product or service personalized, and to what degree can it be customized for high value segments? So can the organization tailor its products and services for high value segments? And this customization might involve product modifications, specialized service options, personalized communication strategies, just things that acknowledge the specific needs of the valuable customer segments. Fourth one, does it treat customers differently based on value to the firm? So going beyond formal service tiers, customer-centric organizations systematically adjust their approach based on customer value. So this could manifest in the form of priority handling, exclusive access, or say personalized attention that scales with customer profitability. And so the key indicator is really whether the company allocates resources differently across the, call it the customer value spectrum. The fifth one is basically high value customer acquisition. Customer-centric organizations actively seek out customers that are similar to their most valuable existing customers. And they employ sophisticated targeting techniques that focus acquisition efforts on prospects with high likely expected lifetime value potential instead of simply acquiring as many customers as you can. And the final illustrative question is, does the org structure reflect customer or product centricity? So this might be one of the more telling signs and also one of the more objective signs, but a customer-centric company's org structure will reflect its orientation. And so teams and resources will be aligned around customer segments as opposed to products. So you want to look for business units that are organized by customer type and incentive structures that are tied to customer-centric metrics like retention and lifetime value. Now let's go through just a couple of case studies. So if you kind of think about these different questions that we just had asked and compare Amex to Costco, hopefully that should just make it that much clearer how we can kind of apply this sort of a framework in practice. So again, when we think about Amex, they've transformed from a travel services and charge card company into an organization that deliberately segments and serves their customers based on their lifetime value potential. So this was a real big strategic shift that they made that recognized that different customer segments contribute disproportionately to their overall profitability. So when we think about these different dimensions, Amex excels across all of them. So if you think about individual customer tracking, Amex has a closed loop network where they function both as the card issuer and the payment processor, which gives them unparalleled visibility into customer behavior. They don't only track transaction incidents and merchant categories, they also track spending frequency, payment patterns, and responsiveness to promotions. So this sort of comprehensive tracking allows them to understand individual customer profitability with a much higher degree of precision. And their data infrastructure integrates online account management behaviors with transaction data to create comprehensive customer profiles. So the sort of insights that they get can inform everything from credit limit decisions to marketing campaigns, and it creates this potentially virtuous cycle of increasingly personalized engagement. Value-based service tiers. So Amex has created perhaps the most clearly articulated value-based service tier system in the whole consumer financial services industry. So they've got this progression of cards, where you kind of start with green, you go to gold, you've got platinum, and then they've got the invitation-only Centurion black card, which represent increasingly exclusive tiers with corresponding benefits and annual fees. So the tiers aren't merely differentiated by cosmetic features, but by fundamentally different service models and resource allocations. So they've got this big annual fee, and the differences between the fees are really quite large when you kind of move across the different cards that they have, from $150 a year to several $1,000s per year, which directly reflect the company's view of customer lifetime value potential. In terms of high value customization, for high value segments, Amex offers really good personalization. So the Platinum and Centurion concierge services provide a range of assistance from restaurant reservations to complex travel arrangements. And high value card members receive customized credit limits and spending capabilities that adjust based on usage patterns. That's pretty sophisticated. They don't do that for the people with the green cards. It's the premium card holders. They gain access to exclusive experiences that are specifically curated for their segment, including private cultural events, unique travel opportunities, things that I personally haven't experienced, but I can only imagine. In terms of value-based treatment, Amex systematically adjusts customer engagement based on value. Their call center routing algorithms prioritize high-value customers. So if you're calling in and you're a Centurion member, you're going to get on the line with a service representative much faster. Credit line increases and fee waivers are a lot more available for the high-value customers, while retention efforts during cancellation attempts also they scale dramatically with customer value. High-value customer acquisition, Amex employs really sophisticated strategies for targeting people based on features that are associated with their current high-value customers. So their marketing appears in a whole bunch of venues that are frequented by high-income individuals, and their member-get-member referral programs offer better incentives for referrals to premium products. They also have partnership strategies like partnerships with luxury brands, high-end hotels, and premium airlines that specifically target customers that are likely to become high-value card members. And then when we think about the org structure, Amex has aligned its business units around customer segments instead of around products, which is actually surprisingly common in the financial services industry. So they have dedicated teams for consumer, small business, corporate, and ultra-premium customers. And the compensation of their executives is tied to customer-centric metrics like retention, satisfaction, and lifetime value growth. So yeah, it's pretty customer-centric if you ask me. I was going to quickly go through Costco as an example, as a counterexample. So when we think about Costco, in terms of individual customer tracking, they maintain membership records, but they don't extensively analyze individual shopping patterns to inform personalized treatment. They use the membership data, but it focuses on aggregate trends and not on individual customization. So they track what's selling, but they don't track who is buying what. What's notably lacking with Costco are value-based service tiers. So they do have business and executive memberships, but these programs, they provide relatively minor differentiation compared to really customer-centric organizations. So if you take the executive membership's primary benefit as an example, it's just a 2% reward on purchases. So it's basically a volume discount, a pretty straightforward one at that, and not really a meaningful source of service differentiation. In terms of high value customization, that is notably absent from Costco's model. They've got a famously limited number of products that they sell. Their so-called SKU count is relatively low, and it applies pretty uniformly across all the stores and members. So products aren't tailored for different customer segments. Instead, what Costco's trying to do is they have a strategy that's focused on offering a carefully curated selection of high quality products at the best possible prices to everybody. Not to some people, but not to others. In terms of value-based treatment, Costco explicitly avoids doing this. Their warehouse staff provides the same level of service to every single member, whether you're spending $1 million a year or $10 a year. Their approach to customer acquisition is also pretty different from truly customer-centric organizations. Instead of targeting high-value lookalikes, they focus more on expanding their overall membership base within the geographic markets that they're targeting. And their marketing emphasizes kind of the universal value proposition of their model rather than specifically trying to seek out high-value customer profiles. And then finally, their org structure reflects a product-focused approach. So it's organized around product categories and warehouse logistics, and not around different customer segments. So hopefully that helps kind of lay out how we can think about this checklist and how we can bring it to life, which hopefully should be helpful as we think about bringing this to life for other companies like OpenAI. So if this is helpful, and I am going to call it here.